playing 35th versus the 27th division. From the start, I saved a couple points for the fighter and basically used the whole my units just to take the forest because uh, I wasn't actually sure what's he gonna do because it's kind of smart idea to push the right flank and the same moment he has like a lot of tanks. So I was actually trying him to force the fight over the Charlie because my infantry is just no match for his. Actually, didn't really work out that well, but in the end it was a pretty fun game. So he actually got a fob. If we're gonna see, he basically used a lot of infantry and actually got a mortar from the start. He got a fob, which actually was a huge surprise for me at the end of the game because, I mean, getting fob in 1v1 if you're not playing the 79s is at least strange. So now I'm just moving my forces, just getting some command points and all that stuff. And actually, it's kind of strange that he actually never sent at least a recon over there. I was getting some recon around, and actually, I'm getting the meta squad to cover the right flank because I was so concerned about that. Because there's actually a strategy when you just push the units at this right flank, and it's actually viable for my side, but not really for his. On the other hand, he actually has a lot of tanks, so I don't know. Actually, he did a good job, so he just was trying to utilize the open fields and was not contesting the, like infantry fighting point, which is a smart idea actually. I got just some couple reconnaissance around here and there just to see what's gonna go. I never brought a single unit over here because I don't know why actually. I was just thinking that he or gonna push the Charlie or he just, build up some forces and gonna push me like slow and steady. So let's jump into my point of view. At this point, I actually seen the BMP and the tank that just roaming around and just pushing it, and I was so scared of that stuff because I mean it was not a fun thing to see. I got the D30s, D20s, the 30s. Yeah, that's the 30. Uh, I was actually trying to find out where exactly this conquers, so I was just zooming in and seeing the moment it's, just the default settings is just to cover the unit just has to take some cover. So actually they were performing pretty well, which is strange because artillery is not a good stuff in this game, at least for now, because maybe I'll gonna make a video about artillery because as for now it's just at least strange. I'm getting the LGB bomber because I see this strange push around there and I'm not actually sure what is he actually doing because it's not the regular type of, the moves that you usually can see around. But actually, it was pretty well. Now, again, the my idea for this game, because I mean, right now the 35th is stupidly overpowered. It has actually BMDs with the Conkers, and right now it has 6 MiG-29s, and plus you get like 3 more. I don't remember how they're called, MiG-23s or so. So you just have like never-ending amount of fighter jets. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm bringing in some more forces and actually trying to push these forces. What I got, like Spetsnaz, the Spetsnaz OP, and a couple scratches, it's the manpads, just to cut off his supply route over there. And now I'm actually starting to get concerned because I see this stuff and I understand that he actually pushes alongside. So first question that I got actually was, where's his recon? Like, if his tank is already over here, where his recon should be? Like, the recon is forward deployed. It actually was no recon around there, but yeah, that was just kind of scary. So yeah, my forces are slowly going to cut off his route, and I'm getting a second bomber just to take out this T-80BV. And I'm trying to get as many forces as I can here because I'm actually kind of scared about the like again. I almost see no of his units. I'm getting one more LGB bomber. This one actually is kind of better than Strike Kickle because you get two per cards of this, and which is actually already very good. And you can evac them as fast as they gonna land their bombs, which it's kind of scary sometimes if you have the bomber that can, fire like two shots. You just leave it at the battlefield and then you just get sniped with some fighter and all that stuff. He's trying to push it, my point. Actually, I have pretty decent forces around there. I'm getting more recon over there, like just to see what I'm actually about to fight. And I'm losing this unit, the airborne troops, which are actually right now are um, how it's called. They are like the assault squads, which they weren't. By the way, the air rifles are not assaulters, like, which is kind of strange. Like, what the hell should be the airborne infantry except of being, like assaulting infantry? Actually, it was very unlucky out of me because I'm just getting to shot my LGB bomber, and I'm actually trying to think that I actually would need a lot of fighters over here because it's kind of scary to use helicopters because each and every of his units is at least 3k of range. So the Taurus has the same, the Strela 10M3s has the same stuff. So I was really scared of that stuff because I was bringing almost no choppers at this game. That was actually a pretty dumb decision because I never seen that stuff when I already, uh, set it to the point where it should unload. So yeah, that's gonna be a pretty fun part. But my force over here, they actually managed to go all the way to his backline and never got any like resistance over there. Same stuff as Demetis, so I understand that all of his forces should be somewhere here. So he completely abandoned that part. And basically, when I actually realized that, that would when the actual game was to start. I'll lose one more chopper over here, and actually, I'm kinda poking around here, but I'm not actually trying to fight it because he has like better tank, he has better ATGMs, he has better BMPs. It's very scary for me to fight him on the open fields because this is actually what he needs to do to win the game. He's getting actually pretty bad trades over here because, like BMPs on alone and all that stuff. And actually right now, actually any plane has much faster, like his cannons, the Gatling, that actually can take a plane, not a plane, but a helicopter pretty easily. So yeah, that's what I should keep in mind. I'm still using these small artillery pieces because, I mean, they are cheap. This is actually pretty fun part about that. So, you have an artillery, which is towed, and it's actually kind of bad, because, it's just very hard to micro. If I would use the self-propelled ones, I would just shift-click and move them somewhere here or here. But these ones, they actually cost so, like, 100 points for artillery piece when it's actually would cost me like 150 or 200 and something. So it's actually pretty decent stuff to do because an opponent actually would have to use an artillery that kinda has to be much more like, just would have to cost much more to deal with this stuff. So yeah, I was actually trying to use as much as I can of these artillery pieces. At least that was the my initial idea of using that. And I'm getting the MiG-29 just to bait some A or like fighters or whatever. And then I'm just bringing the actual bomber. What I had to do, I had to actually bring a fighter, then bring the bomber, and then to bring one more fighter. So yeah, this is kind of like a bad situation right here. But in the end, it kind of worked. I forced his fighter just to go home, and that's like a new fighter, so that was pretty bad. This is exactly what was the problem. And this actually in EU plane, it's like was SU-25, but with the like the K-50 missiles. which is actually very bad right now because, I mean, you actually have to like dive on the tank, so only at that point it's actually gonna make some sense. Yeah, here BMD is just stopping the whole of this push. Yeah, and he just bring this stuff and he sees no tanks, no anything, just wears away. Now I just set it to the automatic fire, so I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of stuff. So I'm just like, okay, if you're just gonna see anything and just fire at that point, like whatever. I don't really care. He's trying to move a command over here, which is not like the smartest idea because, I mean, it's enough for me to stop this push just having a couple like USE with KPVT and the BMD, that's it. Like, it's just gonna stop the whole push. Actually, it was so strange that artillery actually did at least some damage, because in this game, artillery is like, um, like the game takes place in the fictional timeline, but actually takes place in the fictional universe, because that's the only explanation why artillery deals that low damage. And that was actually the fun part. I realized that I see no reinforcements at this route, so I guess he is moving all of his stuff around there. So I just decided just to march the Spetsnaz, the GRU guys, basically just for the RPG-22, at least some AT capabilities, because if I won't do it, he would just print one BMP and clear all these units. I'm leaving the Spetsnaz OP over here with the Iglas. The reason is that, I mean, when I'm gonna bring a lot of units over here, he will have to like reinforce this point. So I was thinking that he will drive by this road and get sniped by Spetsnaz OP. And I'm getting another units because I need to reinforce this route. I'm trying to move the command because I just killed his command over here. I'm thinking about using some supplies over there because, like, Spetsnaz, they're actually beasts, but they lose their RPOs basically in one engagement. So yeah, and I need much more units over here, especially with AT capabilities, because I cannot actually move the Spetsnaz out of here. Like, you know, it would be just much more effective on this route. And this Iglas and Scratches, they're actually stopping him from using the helicopters, because it's like the easiest way to basically demolish all this push is just to use one helicopter, because, I mean, you're closer to your lines. A somewhere here, I cannot snipe with the fighter, and, kind of that stuff. I'm keeping my tanks alive because he has much better tanks. Not like much better, but he has just much more tanks than I do. And yeah, so I was very cautious with my tanks not to lose them. So yeah, just as you can see, just some UAZs with supplies just moving around. He's trying to fight here, but I mean, two squads of Spetsnaz and GRU, which is actually special forces too. So it's basically three squads of Spetsnaz, like Spec Ops around here. So it's actually very good units. And he just comes and gets demolished immediately. What I'm trying to do is to move my command somewhere like this, just to take it to the his back zone, while he was actually counter-battering me with like some MLRS. And what was the fun part of it? Actually, at this moment, I was like, wait, he actually bought Grad, and I was thinking like, does he actually know how many like supply points do you need? Like 2k of supply just to fire two salvos of that. So yeah, I was like, wait, why would he use that? I mean, it just it makes no sense. And that was actually the good part, because he was taking the chopper to deal with all my push, but I mean, Scratches just would take him down. So yeah, I was trying to use the fighter on his helicopter because I was actually very scary, because I mean, uh, I don't really have a lot of units over here for now. I'm bringing more supplies, the small like trucks, not trucks, cars or whatever, just rushing through the forest around there. And yeah, and now I'm start thinking about like I don't really need a lot of AA, but what I would actually need is the assault units. I mean, the units of the assault trait, which is right from the new patch. They actually have it, like shock trait, assault trait, whatever. And what's most important is any AT capabilities, because having I had one squad that had actually AT capabilities, the GRU Spetsnaz, but right now they're already dead because he used the MiG-27, I guess, to that. And so yeah, I'm just trying to fight it, but actually Sapris are pretty good unit, but not versus the most effective squad in the game, like 12-man special forces. Yeah, they're like actually the best units. I wish we would have like Rangers at 8th division that would be just as that capable of fighting at least infantry, because yeah, having 4 shots, MG gun, which is actually pretty strange. Like Shiryu and LRS is basically the same units, while LRS has basically useless, yeah, it's called the machine gun, and the GRU is just, I don't know, self-sustainable unit that actually has some AT capabilities, sticky C infantry, and all that stuff. I'm actually rushing the command. I was trying to go this route, but I've seen some units like moving around there. So yeah, that was pretty scary. So this why I'm just pulling off the main routes and just going for the back lines to back up this point. Because, I mean, I'm just 440 points ahead. If he gonna build up a force, he can actually take my point, and this map is pretty bad in terms of getting fast points, because each and every point is just one, except of back one, which actually gives you two. So yeah, basically, if we're gonna fight all over this central points, I would never be able to uh, get so good leads, so would not be like bothering about winning this game. Actually, the drop was successful. I mean, bringing it into the town, and that was actually a pretty fun part, because I had a lot of units, like Heliborn units, and I can actually reinforce from this side. And he is not actually good at this point because, I mean, he can reinforce it from here, but I mean, if I would see it as a big threat, I would just put an ATGM like around here and try to stop that stuff. He cannot stop me from reinforcement, like getting reinforcements from this point, because I mean, he would have to use like this place to, I don't know, it's just so small gap over here to use the ATGM. And actually here I'm like finding grad with my commander, which is so funny. And I was like, damn, he actually has a grad. And he actually continues firing it. And I was like, okay, is that like one grad? Or there's gonna be like two more grads or one more grad? And while I was thinking about that, I'm just seeing his fob around here, and I'm like, damn, that was so funny. I actually found the fob as the commander, so yeah, that was pretty fun. Now I'm just taking one more command to like cap this point again, and this is so funny because I actually don't know, did he actually see this command? But that was so damn cool. He's trying to bomb this place, but I mean, it's not the smartest move, because killing one recon squad, actually missing it, but what's the point, like, really? The problem with MiG-23 is they're actually not as fast as I need them to be. So I might actually take them out of the deck because, 3 points for like fighter that not really capable of, eh, not a good thing to have. But I'm just seeing his fob, and I absolutely forgot how not long range these guns actually are. So the problem is that I'm not even sure if they actually killed it, because when I like did this move, they start moving into front like somewhere here, and only after that they kind of would be capable of hitting that point. That was actually dumb out of me, because I used to 152 or 155 millimeter, which actually could have be able to get that point. So yeah, that was not like the funnest part over there. So I'm getting more ground, I'm getting his back point, and I'm actually waiting for his push. And that was actually the point that was missed. Uh, well, I was so focused on that point. This meta squad actually demolished his push. It took like 4 vehicles, I think. I guess there should be one. Yep. So basically, he was moving a huge force around here, but not like to that route. Instead, he was trying to assault this position from the forests, and I've seen it like my like a glimpse of an eye, and I'm just okay. He's about to push over there, and I just brought the Akula and the Akula just to, stop this push because I'm so deep into his lines. I'm basically taking the every point that he's got because like here you cannot fight with regular magistral key with the Spetsnaz. I mean, this is just impossible. I'm getting more and more resupplies, and that actually was a pretty good move, but I mean, for some reason I just decided to put Metis there from the start of the game, and it was so good. Here he actually takes a lot of tanks, like he was saving like 4 minutes of income, I guess. But that's actually a huge problem. I see people doing this stuff, but you don't really have to use a lot of tanks, especially on their own. If he would take like two tanks, some ATGM vehicle, some recon, it would be much better for him because tanks, they're basically blind because they have mediocre optics and they have bad stealth. So, I mean, it's something that would be seen from very far away and actually would have no chance of winning it. Now here I'm just taking the full, like this small town, actually a small town. I guess in WARNO it's like a city, maybe? Whatever, like, I'm getting like a lot of more units over there, and basically right now I know that he cannot take this point. I have two choppers over here, so eventually he lost the command, so basically his push doesn't make any sense over here. He's still trying to use his MLRS, but I mean, it's not like just really efficient stuff. I don't know why. It's actually pretty good on the open fields, but in the towns, not really. So now I just killed, or he actually killed his own last unit in the town, so right now he just has no idea what's over there. And here I'm doing the same stuff. I'm taking the fighter just to clear some skies, and I just want to see how many especially how many fighters he has. I sneak the command over here so it won't be sniped, and just getting back to it. And while I'm doing this stuff, I'm just waiting for the SU-25, the AT variant, just to get in there. And it's actually so good because it's like one of the best planes in the game because it's actually very slow, but it gives like the ability to just to circle around and just fly ATGMs, like shoot the ATGMs from the very far away. And if you don't have like a lot of A over there, it might be like unpunished the whole game. Now I see like this his 20 SU-25, and it's just like taken in a minute. And I see that I actually fired each and every of my 80 rocket, like you see, and I was like thinking to take in one more, but actually that was already a game, so yeah, that was pretty decent fight. And actually I was very surprised about D30. I was very lucky with it because it actually dealt some damage, and it's strange because usually the 1 to 2 millimeter, it's actually very bad, especially considering the game. But actually, Spetsnaz, like right now, it's almost unkillable in the towns and all that stuff. So yeah, that was kind of it. I guess it was like, um, let me see. Yeah, basically 2.8 thousand more kills than he got. So yeah, that was basically it. Thanks for watching.